This is a brief tutorial that I've made to show you how to navigate around our course website. The URL for the course website is indicated up here. Notice it's https://sites.google.com/site/educ515 fall 2014. The first night of class, when we open up the class website, it would be a good idea to take note of this. Make sure you write it down. And then when you're at home working on your own computer, certainly bookmark the site. Down here, when I come to the course syllabus, I'll also show you there's a link there as well. This is really the place you're going to want to be to access all the materials you need for our class. When you open up the site, you'll come to this welcome page, and as you scroll through it, there's just some information here about different technology tools we're going to use in the class to make it a little easier for you to save information and to share information with people in the class. I will spend a lot of time using the library databases, so I just want to remind you of that down here. When you come to the course website to access the syllabus, there's a link here in the left-hand column. I'm going to click on that now. And as you scroll through, you can use this scroll bar right here. There's a reminder here of what the course link is to access the website. This is a shorter version of it. If you'd like to write that down, it's http://bit.ly/ed515. So the short version of it's an HTTP with the colon, the slashes, and this bit.ly stands for bit.ly, and it's a way to shorten URLs. Again, if you don't want to type these in when you're at home, I suggest bookmarking on your own computer so you could easily get to it. This is my contact information, and I would encourage you, if you need to get to me in a hurry, to use Gmail, because that will click right away on my smartphone. I'll be able to see that email is coming in. Whereas when I use the USJ email, I really do have to log in on my phone or on a computer if I'm using that. And it's a two-step process really to get to that email, and I don't get the instantaneous message as I would on my telephone. So if you're not in a hurry, of course, just go ahead and use use the university email account. If you need to get to me in a hurry, use my Gmail account. Regarding the syllabus, it's embedded here on this page. And to use this scroll bar here, and you could scroll through. However, you're more than likely going to want to have a copy for yourself and not have to be bothered scrolling. So there's a link here, which when you click on it, it will open up the syllabus in Google Drive. There's also a link down here to open it in Google Drive. So you could click in either place. We will be using Google Drive a lot in the course as opposed to Microsoft Word, because the advantage is that you can get to your documents from any computer that has internet access. So you don't have to worry about having a flash drive or being on your own computer to get to anything you need. So let me open that up and show you what it looks like as a Google document. And when you click on that on your own computer, or anytime you're logged on to the internet, it'll open up in your Google Drive. And to get to it, if you're on your Gmail, you could easily get to your Google Drive and find the syllabus again. And so the syllabus is here for you. If for some reason or other you'd like to save it in Microsoft Word, you can simply go here to File, and there's an option in Google Documents to download. And so you would go over here and notice one of the options that says download it into Microsoft Word. So if you'd like to save it in that fashion, feel free to do that. Otherwise, you have it on your Google Drive, whatever you prefer. Okay, let me go back to the course website. Okay, and let me go to the top here. Okay, so I was using this link right here to get to the syllabus. Notice in the left-hand column, there are some hyperlinks, and of course, the first night, I'm only going to have a hyperlink to information about our first class meeting. And as the course goes on, over here in the left-hand column, you'll see it says Class 1. This is going to expand, and next week, for instance, you'll see Class 2, Class 3. Each week, the notes that you need are added. So if I click here on Class 1, the notes open up as 2 columns. The left-hand column is different kinds of projects we'll do during class, and so you could scroll through that and get a sense of what we've been doing. And the right-hand column is homework that's due for the next class, and I'll always say in parentheses due here, for example, Class 2. I want to call attention to the fact that when you're using the website, there's an awful lot of hyperlinks for you to access additional information, which is one advantage to having all the course material in one course website, is you can access information very easily. So for instance, if you were to click right here, you would see some information. It's going to open, in this case, as a Google document, and some information just regarding the organization for Class 1. Okay. I'm going to go back here and scroll through. There's a link here, for instance, to some notes that overview Chapter 1 of your course textbook, and that would open up for you. It's going to open up as a web page in this case, and it just goes through different information in Chapter 1. I've also embedded some videos for those that find it easier to understand material by using videos. In this case, both of these are highly entertaining videos, and this is another one down here at the bottom as well. So basically back at Class 1, and also you could get to those chapter notes if you're on the main page of the website. Let me just show you how that would work. If you're back here, if you clicked on Chapter 1, it would take it to you. So each week when you click the class notes, you'll sometimes see some sublinks for additional information, and if you do see sublinks, those links are actually in the class notes as well. So I'm back on the class notes, and I just want to remind you, when you see this color font and you see underlining, that is a hyperlink to access additional information. I sometimes will embed a video right into the class notes. This happens to be a tutorial I created that reviews how to access off-campus the University of St. Joseph databases, which we're going to use quite a bit in our class. So again, you're scrolling through, and what I also want to mention is I almost always put more project work for a class session in the online notes. So depending upon how we are working in class, we could decide which parts of the class notes schedule for that night would be the most important to cover. If you access these notes during the week, which obviously you're going to be doing, and you're going through and you see we did not cover something in class, more than likely, if that needs to be covered in class as opposed to doing it at home, I'll carry it over into the next session notes. So when you're going through the class notes at home and reviewing it, don't be alarmed if you see that there's something we didn't cover in class, but you're seeing it in the class notes. Feel free to explore on your own, or wait and see if it gets covered in the next week's session. When you come to the homework column, I use these headings, as you could see, even with the class notes, to divide up the different projects we're doing. So for homework for next week, for instance, you have a reading assignment. You're starting to do some research. I did repeat the video that was in the class notes to remind you how to access the University of St. Joseph databases from home. I have some other links here to help you with navigating through the databases. Down below, I'll have some other hyperlinks. These are mostly about using the documentation style we're using in the course. And I'll occasionally put some images in class notes or homework. And this is just reminding you that it might be a good idea to purchase a secondhand copy, or if you want a brand new copy, of the 6th edition of the publication manual for APA Association, because that will help you a lot with documentation styles in the course. So basically, when you come to the class notes, you're going to see this double column format. I'll continue to use this double column format for the first 3 classes, and then if you tell me you prefer to have the class notes on top and the homework way down at the bottom where you'd be scrolling to find it, if you find that fashion a little easier to work with, I could certainly switch to it. It would just give me more space across the page to write the notes, so it would look more so like a page like this going across the page. So we could decide that a little later on, but for now, at least for the first 3 classes, you'll see it set up this way. There are some other links here in the left-hand margin, and these will get added to as the course goes on. There's 2 major projects in the course, and they each count 45%. And these are the criteria for evaluation. We'll be spending the first half of the course on Project 1, so I will be going over the criteria in class, but if you needed to access it at home as a refresher, it's right there for you. And it explains to you the various parts of the project and what's expected and how many points each part counts. And then we go back to the class notes. Okay, so you'll see some other links here in addition. Here will be our class notes in this area, which again I'll keep expanding. These are the criteria for our 2 major projects. And then we have a Google community that we'll be using, and there's a fast link there to it. And you'll each be invited to join it. And we'll start to use this Google community in our second class. I've only set up 2 subtopics right now. One regards proposals that you'll be writing for the course and topics you'd like to explore. And another one's just a section for asking questions and receiving answers. And you pose a question in this section. It could be anything regarding the course, and I might be the person to answer it or somebody else, but at least everybody in the class will have a chance to see what the question is and what the answer is by having this public space for us to have discussions and for us to post information. So in going back to the course website, again, when you first open it up, you'll be on the welcome page. And to get to the syllabus, click right here. Okay, and always look over here to access per class the notes. I post the notes for each class the morning of the class, so you'll see those go up that morning. I don't like to post them any sooner because I figure most people are still working on finishing homework that is due from the prior class, and I'd rather have you focus on that, and then the notes will be ready when you come into class and you could open them up and you'll have them. So that's really a basic overview, and again, at any time during the course, if you have questions, you can certainly contact me via either one of these emails. I'm on email often, and it's really the fastest way to get to me versus a telephone number. And I think I've covered the basics for now, and as the course proceeds, you're going to find this website very easy to use. I've just made this short screencast just to orient you during our first class session and while you're working at home between class 1 and class 2. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope this overview of the course website was helpful